Okay, let's take a look at the latest Unreal Engine 5.1 update that Fortnite received here on my LG C1 with max out graphics with my 3080. I am using 1080p TSR, so 50% of 4K. And this is so important, man, because most of the games, if not all of them, all the new games that I'm waiting for, that I really want to play, this new Dark Souls-like game that looks like Sekiro, Black Myth Wukong also. A lot of the new games are gonna be using this Unreal Engine 5.1. So basically, if I don't like this, I'm screwed, okay? But I have good news for you. It looks amazing, okay? But it looks like we're going to need more than a 3080 because at 1080p, I am barely getting 60 frames per second. And I am not playing at 1080p 60 frames per second after spending all this money to have a good gaming experience. This is not enough, okay? Not enough. But let's take it for what it is. And let's take a look at the picture quality, the anti-aliasing, which I'm very interested in seeing how good this anti-aliasing is going to be on my LG C1, because on my plasma TV it was looking spectacular, no problem whatsoever, but we have 4K here. We have a lot more pixels to see the imperfections, okay? And let's see. This is my the first game I load in with my LG OLED. Okay, so I see a lot of popping. So you see all the grass was popping. Big time. Was popping like very close. So it doesn't matter that the trees are not popping if I see popping on the grass. So, I mean, it's awesome. The trees don't popping. So I don't see any LOD difference on the trees. It doesn't matter. So I see the trees on the distance. They look exactly the same as the trees close to me. That's awesome. But it doesn't matter if you cannot achieve the same thing with the grass. So if the grass is popping, that's a problem. So if you are spending so much resources to make the trees perfect in the far distance, you have to fix the grass because that's distracting. So the other thing that I see, and I saw this on my plasma TV too, the texture that is underneath the grass is so low resolution and ugly looking. Look at this texture here. Even in this low resolution video, you can see it. You don't need a 8K. And this is going to look like this. It doesn't matter if you have 8K or whatever. So this needs to be fixed. And we do have headroom. Right now the VRAM is at 8 gigabytes. So I'm not fully utilizing the VRAM. I also see the shadows here are very pixelated and ugly looking. And this has nothing to do with the resolution. Or maybe it does. Maybe if I increase the resolution, it's not going to be that bad. But this is really, really bad. This is not 1080p. This is very, very low resolution. So this is the same kind. This is the same kind of ugliness and fuzziness that I was complaining about on the Unreal Engine 5.1 Matrix demo. I was saying, man, this looks so ugly, so fuzziness, so noisy. That's the same kind of noise. So I look at this shadow, it looks sharp, static, but when I move, well, this shadow is good, but the shadows from the trees are the ones that are problematic. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So the shadows of the trees are very, very low resolution, very pixelated, very noisy. And in general, the textures here on the ground are just horrendous. This texture here is just horrendous. Let me show you that I have all the game maxed out. This reflection is also noisy, low resolution, it looks ugly. Let me show you the in-game settings. So you see that I have all the graphics maxed out. So you see 4K. I am using Epic settings, so I'm TSR performance, which is 50% of 4K, that's 1080p. And you see the lumen in Epic, everything is on. So ray tracing, hardware ray tracing cannot be on at the same time with global illumination and reflections using lumen. Okay, so the game is maxed out, and these reflections here are noisy, ugly, and low resolution. The same problem that I saw on the Matrix demo. So that doesn't look good. So it is not worth the performance. So if I am getting such a terrible performance at 1080p, I am expecting premium quality, and I am not getting that. I am not getting premium quality. The reflection looks ugly. The textures on the ground are not high enough. They are distractingly bad looking. The shadows are pixelated. They have fuzziness. They look bad. The grass is popping. So this is the problem. So this is the problem with trying to push graphics. So if the performance is terrible, you need to have pristine quality. And this is not what you're getting here. It is not pristine quality. So this is nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Why would I get this bad performance if I am not getting perfect picture quality? But let's talk about something good. The anti-aliasing, I like it. I have to say that. This is not as good as DLSS, and I do see problems. So for example, the grass, when it moves, I see that the grass is pixelated. And if I move the character, the contour of the character is definitely noisy. It's the same kind of noisiness that I saw on the Unreal Engine 5.1 Matrix demo. It is noisy surrounding the arms and everything that is moving on the character. I see noise. Okay, it is not perfect. And I see also, let me see if I can see occlusion problems with the reflections. So I do not see occlusion problems with the reflections. So the reflections that are behind the character, if I move the character and the character was occluding the reflections, I don't see that problem. So that's very good. Oh, I have to move. So the anti-aliasing is good, but I do see noise, and I do see fuzziness when the character is moving. And this game maybe is hiding the defects because it's all about grass, and there's not a lot of static geometry that is, like buildings and stuff. So I will look at the buildings and see how that looks. I have to move here. So the rocks look very good. The rocks on the ground look very good. The trees have no popping, which is amazing. And the other thing I want to mention, the game not having HDR is just nonsense. Like, if you are looking for the best picture quality and you are expecting people to have to get a 4090 to enjoy the the maximum quality of the game, are you expecting people to play on SDR? That makes no sense. Why would you spend thousands of dollars on a 4090, your PC, a display, and not play on SDR? That makes absolutely no sense. HDR is more important. It makes a bigger difference than any graphical setting. So HDR has to be on the game. If you really want the highest fidelity, it has to be on the game. So yeah, that's just nonsense. So I like the anti-aliasing though. I see the defects, but it looks sharp. It looks sharp, at least here in Fortnite. The anti-aliasing is looking good. The reflections, let's see if the reflection disappear. So the reflection is like ray tracing. I thought it was disappearing for some reason, but it is not. It is not disappearing. The reflections are like ray tracing. So they are not like screen space reflection that they disappear when the objects that are reflected are no longer on screen. You can still see. Let's see. See that rock over there? I can still see the rock on the reflection, even when the rock is no longer on the screen. So that's good, but they are not very high resolution and they look noisy. The reflection looks noisy. I see noise on the picture. Let me increase the resolution to make sure that it is not because of that TSR. Let me increase it to quality and see if that helps with that noisiness. No, the noisiness is still there, and now I'm getting 50 frames per second. Also, the performance is not improving a lot by lowering the resolution of the TSR. It's improving a little bit, not a lot. The DLSS should perform a lot better here and look better too. So that noise is still there. It looks ugly. The noise on the reflection just looks ugly. It looks pixelated. It looks bad. This is the same kind of ugliness that I saw on the Matrix demo. Same kind of ugliness. And when I look at the reflection of the trees, the reflection is not the same quality tree that I see here with all these branches. On the reflection, I do not see the same LOD. You know, it is not the same. It's a different one. It's a lower quality asset. It is not the same. So bad performance, the picture quality needs to be perfect. Okay, perfect. There's no other way to justify this horrendous performance if the picture quality is not perfect. So at times, and if you sit far away, because some of you might think, man, you're sitting too close to the screen, that's why you can see all those imperfections. I can see them also from the distance. It's just a lot easier to notice if you sit this close to the screen. And of course, the reason why I'm sitting this close is because I don't have a good setup yet. In the future, what I want is to have, of course, show you the screen and have my face in one corner, but I don't have that set up yet. I need to invest on the channel. I will do that as soon as I can. I will do that so I can do this kind of videos much better. So yeah, the game looks amazing, man, but it is not perfect. It has a lot of issues, and the performance is not good enough. And there is a lot of ugliness here. So I am not a big fan of Unreal Engine 5.1. And this is how the games are going to look. This is it. It might improve over time. The performance might improve a little bit. But this is what they are aiming for. The new games, Black Myth, Wukong, this Dark Souls-like game that I'm really expecting. It looks amazing. It was recently announced, and it has a lot of parries like Sekiro. Wow, I'm really waiting for that game. That's how it's gonna look. It's gonna have a different art style, but the lighting, the anti-aliasing, all this noise and all this fuzziness is gonna be there. And the problem is, you cannot see those issues on YouTube. So when they market, when they advertise this kind of features on YouTube, looks amazing. It looks amazing, but when you play that on your high-end display, on your high-end PC, it looks ugly and you see all the defects. So that's the biggest problem I see. This is very easy to hype. On YouTube, you see a lot of people hyping up Unreal Engine 5.1. Oh, it looks photorealistic, it looks amazing. But when you really test it, put it to the test, and you really look close, it does not look clean. It doesn't look clean. It has a lot of defects and noise and fuzziness and low resolution reflections and shadows. Look at this. Looks ugly and it performs like crap. That's the problem. The performance is crap. So if you give me this picture quality, but it's running at 200 frames per second, I would be like, wow, this is truly amazing. They are, just putting the performance where it's needed for you to get the best picture quality, but it is not. And look at this. Look at these shadows here. Look at these shadows here. This is terrible. This is kind of broken. This shadow is not reflecting that tree. Not at all. It's like triangles and stuff. It looks terrible. So, yeah. Let me know your thoughts and opinions if you have the chance to try this. I thought it was going to be worse, to be honest. It doesn't look bad. Sometimes it looks like a Pixar movie. On my plasma TV, I was not able to see these imperfections because the plasma TV doesn't have this kind of fidelity. Okay, the plasma TV looks amazing in motion, the colors are amazing, but it doesn't look, I am not able to detect as easy all these defects. But here, it's terrible. It looks bad, man. Sometimes it looks horrendously bad. And it's performing like garbage. Look at that, 40 frames per second. Makes no sense, of course, for a competitive game. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions, and yeah.